What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Metal Maniacs Podcast. I'm your host, Jay Ingersoll, and I'm here, as always, with the man himself.
Hey, Jay, it's your boy, Modd.
What's up, brother?
Hey, how you doing, brother?
Good.
Yeah, man.
So we've been sitting here, kind of had to call it an audible, but it's all right. Stuff happens, whatever. We had something lined up, and it didn't follow through, but it is what it is. So we figured we would still get something done today.
Oh, yeah.
And we got some songs here to react to. So also, if you guys are checking this episode out and you have a band or know someone that has a band and you want us to react to some of your music, send it to us, DM, whatever, Instagram, Facebook.
I'd even go as far as to say if you've already sent us material, send us more material.
Yeah.
We'll react to a different song, maybe something different, vastly different from what you've already sent us in terms of your previous send-in. Like if it was a speed metal track, then send us a doom metal track if you got one. So
Yeah, that's a good call.
We'll make use of the time today.
Hell yeah. So, like we've done these, a handful of these now. Usually we go across and we talk about vocals.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about the production some. We talk about guitars, whether there be leads, melodies, things like that, riffage. Songwriting's a big thing for us. We like to hear a song, but that's usually hit or miss in extreme metal, right?
Yeah.
It's a tough one, but we kind of like to hear a good song. And what else? Oh, bass. Yep.
Yep. Usually they're in there. Usually.
Yep. And then do you have some vocals? Maybe you don't have vocals. I don't know. Maybe you make fucking frog noises because we've had that.
It's pretty popular these days. Singing that's not even singing at all. It used to be, Cookie Monster vocals where you'd at least say words, but now you just try to make some sort of a sound and carry it out as long as you can. Just a pterodactyl dive bomb, and that's your vocal. So,
and we may get into some of that here today.
Yeah, you never know what's behind door number one.
So, are you ready?
Do it.
Are you guys ready? I'm ready. So,
press play. Let's go.
The first submission we have here, song number one, the band is called Graverape.
Woof.
Kind of sounds like an aggressive cereal, but
fucking cereal that bites back.
But
the curdled milk.
I always ask for these bands to send in submissions as much information as I can get from them.
Sure.
So as far as a description, this is verbatim what they sent. We're a two-piece mid-paced death doom band with the Swedish chainsaw guitar tone. We're old school cats and take the influence from that era. Slayer, Dismember, Grave, Unleash, Autopsy, Divine Eve, Carnage, and Tomb Bolt Thrower. Our second LP, Horrors of Life, dropped back in April, but I'm assuming last April.
Yeah.
This was also submitted shortly after we did the centenary, I think, reaction.
Okay.
So these guys were like, oh, they react to that kind of stuff, and I
Yeah.
know they're familiar with Centenary. Shout out to Centenary and Mike.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, so if you're ready, I'm ready. We're going
Yeah.
to click on this link. We got a Bandcamp link.
Yeah, it says they're from Detroit. They're a death doom HM2 sickness style band.
They got a gang of followers.
All
Like,
right.
there's a bunch of people following them on their Bandcamp.
That's good. That's good.
And so one song pops up here. It looks like.
If you scroll down, there's
There's more. But we'll just play this one that's featured here because I'm assuming we can get away with it.
It's
And
track number one on the album, which is always good. Just press play, and that's what you know you're getting.
And it looks like it's also the title of the album, Horrors of Life Eternal.
Like that.
So here we go.
Graverape. Watch it be 5 minutes of this.
Gotcha.
Fuck yes. That was awesome. Old school,
Yeah.
but definitely checks all the boxes, right? Like
Yeah.
you had your songwriting, you had really clear production. Vocals probably could have done more because early on it sounded like there was going to be more diversity with the highs and the lows introducing the song during that first minute and a half. And then there was just the storytelling mid vocal throughout. But I think if I were to listen to the rest of the album, I would expect more on the vocal front. But all in all, really cool stuff. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Fun. I could see the circle pit in my brain with that beat, that trot beat. Oh yeah, they're pitting for that band for sure out live. Jay, what do you want to say about it?
I felt the same way. I thought it was super cool when that first came in and that guitar hit and that bass and the drums and everything. It just sat right there in that perfect like it sounds great.
Yeah,
too, mix wise.
Yep.
You can get into the weeds with that HM2 sound.
Yep.
It can start to sound really weird but this was mixed very well. Artwork, did you see this artwork?
Fucking badass.
Yeah, dude.
The t-shirt too.
So
I even pulled that
cool.
up. I'm like, oh, do I buy the t-shirt? I'm only just now hearing the first song ever by these guys, but I'm like, can I wear this? I
mean, dudes, you guys are doing something great. It sounds awesome.
Yeah.
You keeping it old school. If that's what you're trying to do, you've accomplished that very well. It sounds great. It looks professional. I mean,
everything about this was really cool for me. I also wanted to speak to the difference in guitar tones where you had the HM2 on the rhythm end, but then the lead guitar was not using the HM2, or it was just at least a lot cleaner.
Yeah.
It wasn't the buzzsaw sound effect, so that worked in their favor too. Being that it's just a two-piece, I don't even know if they're performing live or if they're just kind of like an internet type of project. I would imagine that if you're going out live, you at least need two guitars to pull this off, let alone a bassist as well.
Yeah.
But if they are playing live, that'd be fun to see and, see the pit going off. And if they're just an internet project, that's cool too. I get it. People have lives. They got to work and pay bills, and music isn't really necessarily raking in the cash these days if you're a musician. But
yeah, it's kind of you do it because you love to do it.
Yeah. But, awesome artwork, awesome song. So check these guys out. Graverape. That's going to be a tough one to sit around the water cooler and talk about.
Yeah.
But obviously, that's the style of music. You go for a name that's kind of that visceral, really. So
yeah, thumbs up in my book. You guys did an awesome job.
Fucking
checks
sweet.
all the boxes, like you said, that we're looking for.
Songwriting, lots of callbacks.
Yeah.
You're not going to be doing clean vocals over this HM2 stuff, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even think it would make sense. My only question is, Jay, is the bass just supposed to always be in that distorted register. Like, you're not trying to have Steve DiGiorgio over this stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, the whole style, this whole style doesn't lend to a technical type style. So
Sure.
even to have some of that extra melody, I guess you could put it in there, but it doesn't really warrant that. It's just have that bass hold down that just...
Yeah. I mean, if you cut the guitars out for a phrase, you bring the bass in and it's just thundering, rumbling distortion and maybe doing exactly what the guitar's about to do. Like, here you go, here's what you're about to get with the other two guys. So, yeah, I mean, it does check all the boxes, and for that style, you really can't do much more other than be really good at it and write really good songs, which I think they accomplished outright. First track of the album. So good send in, and thank you very much. That was Horrors of Life Eternal by Graverape.
Yeah, they knocked that out.
Actually, the song was, that was the album. The first song was Valley of Red.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Yep.
All right, so we will move on to song number 2. That was a great way to open the show, though. Jeez.
Fuck yeah.
So the second submission is from Gallows Grove. The song is called Godspeed. We have a YouTube link here. I don't have much. I asked him about sending more information in.
I'm going to try and pull them up on
with
Spotify.
Yeah, see if you can pull that up real quick before we get started. Let me see if I can just find this message too. And we apologize, folks. We've been a little more prepared, but we were prepared to do something else today.
Yeah,
but
we're calling the Flea Flicker audible today.
Yeah, we did. We definitely did. So I'm trying to find the original message because this is... Let's see what he says about it here. Man, it can't be that far back.
I gotta find. I'm trying to find these guys on Spotify in case they exist. Gallows Grove. No. There's a. Okay. Nope.
So
let me just double check.
I will say this about Gallows Grove. The thing that I do know is...
Or is it Godspeed? Gallows Grove? Because I'm...
No, it's Gallows Grove. And Aaron, he used to be in... So the guy that plays in this band, I'm assuming that he plays guitar and does some vocals. But he used to be in Theocracy. He was one of the guys in Theocracy.
Okay.
So I don't know if that... what we're in store for. They do have a band camp. Found that on their Facebook. So...
Okay, Godspeed by Gallows Grove. Found it.
Yeah, they don't really even have much. It says Godspeed is the first single off our future EP, See the Dying Dying. It was recorded at Hyperbolic Studio in Escanaba, Michigan.
Escanaba in the moonlight of death metal.
So,
nice.
All right, well, let's give it a rip and see what it is. He said he wanted an honest reaction. I told him we racked on the show, so here it goes.
Yep. murder of crows at the end.
Yeah. All right.
So similar to the last song in terms of style, it sounded like to me, I felt like either that was a lot of distortion on the bass or just some HM2 in there. I enjoyed that one as well. Had a lot of the boxes checked. We're looking for songwriting. Vocals were what you'd expect, I guess. Like the Fry vocal was there, up and down all around.
Some lows going on.
Yeah, fun song, cool riffs. I liked it. Production needed to be addressed. End of day. But you know, I'm not going to sit here and judge it too harshly. I could hear it. It's fine. Compared to the last track, though, there's obvious audible discernibilities to be addressed. Like, you know, they just needed to come up in volume in a lot of ways, maybe, and just master it a little bit more. But that didn't make it unenjoyable for me.
Right.
It just meant that I probably got to have to turn it up and not be as loud as I want it to be. Volume wars, right?
Yeah, so it says this was released February 1st, 2024. Jocelyn St. Thomas vocals, Aaron McDonald guitar and backing vocals. Like I said, he was in Theocracy, so we know Aaron.
All right, yep.
Cool dude. Always been a fan of Infinite Design, and he's always been super cool.
Yep.
So it's cool to get a submission from him. Brandon Cantrell on bass and Betsy Perry on drums. So I believe they have a female drummer. For me, I'm just going to start. Songwriting was there. It was cool.
Yep.
The vocalist gave room to breathe for the riffs.
Yep.
I feel like whatever I said, wherever they recorded this, I feel like that guy must play guitar because the guitar was the loudest thing in there.
Yeah.
It's like we've had so many of these submissions that it's like, turn your drums up. Let me feel those drums.
Yeah.
Then add the guitar, then add some bass in there.
Sure.
Right?
Yep.
Like that's how we have to mix. We cannot mix the guitar as the loudest instrument unless you play guitar. Have someone else mix it. Yeah. But that's just on production. I thought the song was cool.
Yep.
I thought the vocals were cool. There was enough diversity in there. They gave us some songwriting. I couldn't really discern the bass. I think that's because the guitar itself, it must be 7/8 strings, something like that. It's so low, you can tell.
They tuned down lower than whale shit.
And the guitar tone was good, and the vocals sounded good. It just felt like, where are the drums? Where's the bass? Like that whole low end register is missing from the recording and the production. Yeah. Other than that, that's kind of my only critique. I think you guys are doing something great. Doesn't give me a lot of artwork to work with here either.
I like the picture that they've got. I like subtle artwork like that. The shadow, the blood splatter. You know, that's pretty cool for me.
Yes.
I like the hand-drawn art, and I especially like hand-painted art. But this is also a really cool. They got like the little logo in the top right. You know, the blood-splattered crow, if you will. I like the artwork, but yeah, there wasn't much more going on in terms of background art or anything. It's like they got the one image, and that's what they're working with right now. But yeah, they had a lot of boxes checked. They're way the fuck up there in Escanaba.
Yeah.
So that's way up in the UP. Yep. So don't know how many opportunities this band's going to get to come down to the lower peninsula and perform in bigger markets like Grand Rapids or Detroit, Lansing, Ann Arbor, what have you, wherever the metalheads are gathering. Kalamazoo, nice little hotbed, hopefully coming up there. They're probably more apt to drive all the way over to fucking Wisconsin before they come down here.
Right.
You know, like it's probably a lot easier to go over to Duluth or even Milwaukee than it is to come all the way down to the lower peninsula. But should they come our way, they ought to give us a heads up so that we can promote their shows, because they would fit well with a lot of the bands that we've featured on our show so far. So
yes, for sure.
Godspeed to Gallows Grove. Good song.
Yeah.
Enjoyable for sure. So send us another one, or we'll check back with you at some point in time. Stay in touch. Shout out.
Yes, I know Aaron well. He's, like I said, he's a cool dude. He's a friend of ours anyway, or at least an acquaintance, but him and I have always kind of kept in touch after the Theocracy days and stuff. So, like I said, cool dude. Keep doing you guys' thing, though. Yeah, I do want to hear them drums a little more, though. I want to hear them things blasting in my face. For sure. You know, but that's my only critique other than that. Keep doing that. One thing I would like to say is, like, bands, sometimes we get, man, just take a couple minutes and really put a bio out there, put some information out there so people that want to discover your band, they can get more information. There's not a lot of footprint with this band. Maybe you don't have a lot of time to put into it, but, you know, your Bandcamp, even, you know, the banner itself or whatever, it's kind of hard to read your name. So if someone came across you, I just want bands like this that have potential, they can get discovered. So take a little time and make sure somebody can reach out to you. Make sure somebody knows what's going on with your band. I think that's very important.
Also, I think that, if you got 4 people in the band, one person probably could set aside a little bit of time to do that sort of a thing. Now, you might have one person who's a control freak, or they're the visionary and they want it a certain way, but they don't make the time for it. They don't make it a priority. So you might have to say, okay, this is my idea. Can you take and run with it and put up the bio, put up some more art, make some phone calls, have somebody else do it, find a friend, what have you. But you want to have a little bit more captivating presence online to get people to listen to your music. It is what it is. Like, you just have to have more visuals. I know it's dumb, it's music, you just want people to listen to it, but you need to have something to draw people in the first place before they're going to sit down and make the time for the intentional listen, or even squeeze you into their Spotify playlist. They're probably going to want to see, like, oh, I'm about that looks awesome, let me check that out further. So assign somebody the task, make them do it. Make somebody do it, or make the time yourself. If you're the visionary and you like things done a certain way, then, maybe instead of sitting down, picking up the guitar and practicing one day, you spend 2 to 4 hours working on your social media presence, or YouTubing how to do that sort of a thing, and then follow up with that a week later.
Exactly.
If that's how much time you're limited to. But overall, despite the minor critiques that we elaborate on, the song was good. It was a song. It had structure. Yeah. And it was
speed stuck in your head.
Yep, got the vocal in there. Yeah, I'm with it. So good stuff, good sending. Yep. Keep up the good work.
Yes.
Love it.
And I just say that because we've had a few bands, and then we looked at the Bandcamp of Graverape, right? And their thing is just elaborate art everywhere. And I understand they probably put some money into that. I get it, whatever. But like, use Canva, it's free. YouTube something, it's free, and update your Bandcamp and put some information in there so people can really grasp onto it, because you got a good start with the music, but like you said, you worded that perfectly. We need some visuals. We need something that's captivating. We need something. If you don't know how to do that, that's completely fine. I know some guys just know how to play guitar. Some guys just know how to do certain things, but find somebody to represent your band in a way that, and this isn't just picking on Gallows Grove, right?
No.
This is
for everybody.
Godspeed.
Gallows Grove. Godspeed.
Yeah, it's weird how they have it labeled on YouTube, though. It says Godspeed and then Gallows Grove. Usually you want to do that the other way around. Same with the... Yeah. Okay.
So for most people, they're listening to music, they're like multitasking. So they might be doing something entirely different, and then with the music playing. Or in some cases, like us, we'll sit there and we'll specifically like scroll through whatever page we're on, or several. YouTube, Spotify, Bandcamp, Facebook. We'll look at all that and we'll read about your band. So that's something you want to consider. You're just giving people more content in addition to your music. And quite frankly, that's the era we're living in. That's what people want. You go to a Mouthful of Locusts and it's memes for days, and you're laughing and you're reading about them. They're plugging a show. They're talking about their other bands that they dig. They're engaging. And you want that if you're trying to do something. If it's not just your hobby horse, like if you're wanting people to listen to your music, or you're just saying, oh, by the way, at the water cooler, I'm in a band, check it out. There's kind of like, what are you doing with your band? And then if you want more, you have to do more than just write and record. You definitely want to put the bio out there. So real quick, I want to know the people in the band. Maybe other people don't care, but I would like to see a photograph of each member, or a band photo, and then say, I'm so-and-so and this is what I do, or just allow people to know as much as you're willing to tell them about yourself outside of music, or just within the music, within your art. So that's me. I like to read about people and what inspires them to do the music that they're doing. So just food for thought, just, to consider. Give us more than just your music. I know it's a lot to ask for. Like, we actually care. We want to read about you and know about you. So there's that. All the way up in Escanaba, right?
Yeah.
All right, man. That's awesome. Yeah. I'm like kind of geeked that somebody all the way out there has found us.
Yeah, and I just say that too because when I'm doing clips for these episodes or bands, I'll go on their Facebook, and they'll have 7 pictures on there, and I'm just like, you guys playing shows all the time, and then there's just a bunch of pictures of flyers, right?
Right.
And I'm trying to pull some of this stuff to put in the clips of these and that, and I'm just like, I need more.
Yeah.
You know, what if I really liked your band and you got 4 live photos of one of the last shows, but you played 15 shows in the like.
Yeah.
We need more in this day and age of
Yeah.
social media. We need some art. We need some kind of aesthetic to your social media.
Yep.
I'm not saying you got to do this social media shit as a full-time thing. I do it
No.
because I'm just promoting the podcast and we're trying to help other bands along the way, right? But that's
Right.
just all part of getting your podcast or getting your band or getting whatever you're trying to do out there. That's
Yeah.
just the way it goes. I'm not saying you have to do all that work, but just give me something visual. Give me some pictures, like you said. Put some time in and let us really have some kind of aesthetic to your band, so it talks to us more than just having to listen to your
Yeah.
song. Which
I mean, and they might just be like, would they just dropped this 2 months ago? Like
yeah,
February, you said. So
yeah.
they might need to, make the time for that if it's, that hot off the presses that they haven't really gotten around to it yet. Maybe there's other things in life, who knows? But yeah, I mean, when you get around to it sooner than later, put a little bit more up on the old interwebs for us to scour through.
Yeah. And that's not, like I said, just for the Gallows Grove. It's for a lot of bands,
Oh yeah,
that have more than 4 pictures on your Facebook, so I can
amen.
dig into your shit. So, all right, let's move on. We'll go to song number 3. This was submitted by Lucious Fox.
Yep.
That's how I'm saying that.
Yep, Lucious,
Lucious,
like what is it? The guy from Batman, Lucious Fox.
Okay, Lucious.
Yeah.
Okay. So, hi, y'all. My name is Jeremy, and I play guitar in Kalamazoo project Lucious Fox. I've listened to a few of your pods featuring our buds bands and really dug it, so I figured I'd reach out and pitch our stuff. We are a 2-piece that plays heavy progressive music that touches on post-rock, psychedelic, electronic, math rock, doom, black, and death metal. We layer frantic melodic guitar and synthesizer over intricate driving drums to create a wall of sound that dwarfs that of projects with twice the personnel. At the end of last year, we released an album called Medicia Sidera that we're incredibly proud of, and this year we are playing a ton to support it. I've attached a link to it below. Thanks for your consideration, and thanks for supporting extreme music with all that you do, Jeremy. Jeremy, appreciate you listening to the show, and thank you for acknowledging and supporting extreme music. Very interested to dive into this. I've heard nothing but good things about this band. I've seen them playing with all of our buds bands, right?
Yeah.
Seen them all over. They're from KZoo too, so they're native to that. Obviously, they've played with Drink Their Blood, Mouthful of the Locust, all those bands. Seen them at a lot of shows. So we're going to open the Spotify up here.
It says, now, is this the one where it says song number 4? Oh, no, never mind. That's
Something else.
yeah.
Okay.
So the Spotify just comes up, I guess, any song. Well, they've got the 11.5-minute song. Dare we?
Nah. we'll pick the we'll just pick that first song here.
Yeah, that's a fair enough length, and it's the opener.
How would you say that, Nick? Callisto?
Yeah, Callisto.
Okay, cool. So here we go. Or not. You fuck. Spotify's like, log in.
Suddenly, it wants to have an attitude, like my computer earlier. I tell you
All
what.
right, here we go. We should be good now.
All right, let's do
It's
it.
always got to be some bullshit like that.
The Sunday church organ. Yeah, definitely psychedelic and progressive. A lot of cool drum work as advertised. This looks like it's going to be an all-instrumental album front to back because I see it listed Jeremy as guitar and synth and Paul as drums, so no mention of vocals. These guys are really big into the solar system, astrology. Well, not necessarily astrology, but, planetary type imagery with all of their albums, it would appear. This one especially is focused on Jupiter and its 4 largest moons per their Bandcamp. So I like the imagery. I like all of the artwork from all of their albums. Speaking to the song, it seemed like it was kind of segmented into a couple of different themes where it wasn't necessarily a bunch of callbacks, but you have an instrumental piece, you're probably not going to have callbacks because that's more like a vocal thing. You want to sing over choruses and verses. This is supposed to be intended to be like a progressive orchestration where you're moving from a start and away from it and not really necessarily returning to it other than maybe holding some themes, which I think they did a pretty good job of. I enjoyed it. Probably further along in the album before you get to some of those other genres that were mentioned, like black metal, death metal. You probably got to dive a little bit further into that entire album. I love the artwork too, but a pretty cool song. I could see getting on the treadmill or the bike and riding around to it, but it also, for me, it does fit into the more chill aspect of things. Like when I asked the artists at the end of the day, what are you listening to that's heavy and what are you listening to that's chill? If I were to say Lucious Fox, I would probably put them in the more chill category for me. Even if it is like upbeat and happy at times, it's still just got an overall like kind of a calming vibe. It was almost emotional too with some of the segments of the song there. So I certainly appreciate it as a good send in, and I hand it off to you, Jay. What do you think about Lucious Fox from Kalamazoo, Michigan?
So I'm along the same lines where I feel like we'd have to probably listen to the whole album to get all of those different. I feel like they probably venture to several different areas and some of them different genres that they were speaking of. So you kind of have to probably take that album in as a whole. We probably should listen to 11-minute song so we could have got more of it. It's cool when they went to that weird spastic part all of a sudden out of nowhere. I thought that was a really just to break up that kind of just soothing vibe throughout. And this is also an opening track. So maybe within this 5-song, 30-minute plus EP that they put out, maybe they're taking you on a journey, and that's what it sounds like. Also with the artwork, very cool. And this is what I'm talking about, what I was referencing with the Gallows Grove, where they did have the lyrics of one of the songs, and then they only had one song out, so I get it. But when you go to their Bandcamp, this isn't like all crazy fancy, but at least we get a whole story on what they're talking about for the album. They say who produced it, they say who's in the band, they say, give us all the information that we need. We have all the releases over here. So very cool artwork. I would like to see this live because I've heard nothing but good things about them. Seem like some cool dudes. And I will be listening to more of their music. The production sounded great. The drums were thumping in my ears. They sounded very natural too, not anything that was really fake or overproduced. So it felt like this, like a vibe of just like we're jamming, and I think that captures this type of music very well. I could hear all the instruments good. As far as the vocals really sucked on it.
Fighting words.
No vocals. It does say, it's weird on their Bandcamp because it does say Jeremy is a composer, lyricist, and so is Paul. So I'm not sure what lyrics they're talking about. Maybe they write lyrics for their instrumental songs that you can read along with. Something like this, I wouldn't doubt. But all in all, thumbs up for me. It's definitely in the extreme music category just because the average listener isn't going to be able to consume this.
So it's not average.
It's not average. These guys seem like they're great players too. So to me, 2 thumbs up for me, boy. I liked it. I thought it was cool.
And now that I look a little deeper into the Bandcamp as well, I see that Callisto has 3 movements to it, which we heard, which were A, approach, B, ancient surface, and C, impact. So it's kind of speaking to their song structure, where you're not going to have the verse, chorus, verse, bridge, outro type stuff. You've got more, part 1, part 2, part 3 in terms of their structure. I would be curious to know if there were like poems to accompany these, like if you're opening up a CD jacket and there's something to read, if he is in fact a lyricist in these instrumentals, just something to read along. I feel like they have a lot of story to tell just by way of their bio, where they're telling you like why they chose to write these songs and what they're supposed to be about. They give you a little bit more to play with and using your imagination. It would be cool if there were poems to them, or if maybe further along in the album there are actually vocals, like a guest vocalist or something of the sort. But I love it. I definitely am a fan of these guys instantly. I'm curious to know what they bring live, if there's a bunch of lights or visuals to accompany that style of music, because it's right in that psychedelic rock, that progressive rock ballpark. So Lucious Fox from Kalamazoo, again, I keep mentioning that town. We've got some players that are from that area, so maybe we'll be able to get down there and see them, or they'll be able to come up our way and play a little closer to us in a venue. So I think that's something to look forward to. Good send-in. Cool stuff.
Yeah, definitely like that, man. So, ready to move on?
Shall we?
All right, we got a few more for you guys here today. Song number 4. This band is called Valley Mutants. It says, Port Huron, Michigan hardcore thrash punk band called Chemical Valley Mutants, and we'd love for you guys to review our reaction video to our album Poison. Please let me know if this is possible. Thank you very much. Well, it is possible, and here we are. We are big against pedophilia, which I hope most people are, but
any living, breathing person ought to be on that bus.
That should be just a note. I mean, it shouldn't be questioned, but and the hashtag Crimson Cult is a hashtag to bring awareness to predators in the area or across the world. I attach that positive message via hashtag to all my creative outlets, music or my hardcore indie horror films, Crimson Videos. I have a licensing agreement with Tromora Entertainment via Lloyd Kaufman as well. Chemical Valley Mutants are from Port Huron, Michigan, formed in 2022.
All right.
So let's open up the old band camp here. And, man, they got some short songs. Want to go for the longer outro song on this one, Nick?
Let's, because it is the title of the album,
Yep.
and it is the longest one, so it should give us everything that was previous to it on the album. There's 11 tracks on it, so this, I would imagine, encompasses the entirety of what they're doing. I like some of these song titles, though. It's Charles Bronson, Vigilante, Anarchy, Equality.
Very short songs,
Yeah.
so it's kind of a short. I see where the punk comes in, but we'll listen to your 5-minute song here.
Yeah.
We got a little time
If
today, so
If it's 90 seconds of music and 4 minutes of outro noise, we're going to be pissed. But
yeah, I know we could get burned on this one for sure, but we'll see. Maybe we should just pick the 3-minute song.
No,
but we'll go 5 minutes.
Yeah, we got it. We got the time.
So here is Chemical Valley Mutants, Poisoned.
can see the horizon as the smoke clouds up.
Waiting for another chorus to come in after all that. So yeah, these guys definitely hardcore punk. Reading up on their bios, they got a little bit more presence on Facebook. There's a lot to read. This goes to exactly what we were talking about earlier. There isn't a ton of posts from this band on their Facebook, but you've got the album info, 28-minute runtime. They give you all the information on who's in the band and who had what to do with it, the studio, all the mixing and mastering and recording. Then you've got 4 posts about the different influences. They've got a review posted, and then they've got some artwork. I will say that I liked the way that the bassist complemented the chord progression, where he wasn't strictly following the guitarist. He was doing what he needed to do, especially in a style of band like this where, if you're going to be playing a chord progression that's basically power chords to drive your point home, your bassist, should be something more of a musician to accent all of that, and he did a really good job there. I'm going to speak to the bassist when and where I get the chance to. I haven't really had a chance all day, so good work from your bassist on that song. They definitely check some boxes in terms of songwriting, lots of callbacks, lots of chorus there. Vocals were screamy and more spoken word than singing. So definitely story time when you sit down and listen to these guys. I like the coughing, actually, like to drive the point home. Good stuff. I had fun with it. I could definitely see the pit going off again in my mind. Like if you're catching these guys out live, stand aside probably if you don't want to get caught in the pit. Definitely, I can see the crowd getting into that for the level of energy that they're bringing. So, Jay, hand it off to you here. I know you'll have some things to point out.
So, definitely punk rock. Yep, more on the punk rock side. Like the callbacks, we definitely got the point of the Poison. I'm liking the artwork for the actual CD.
Yep.
I'm kind of on Facebook, so I'm trying to see some more information here. It looks like they went to like a decent studio to record. One of my critiques would just be more of the production. If you're just going for that very raw sound, you got it because it is punk rock. For me, I like to have a little bit crispier of a actual production when it comes to that. Get your point across a little bit more, just because sometimes when that bass drum sounds like that bass guitar almost gets lost because it's taking up the same register. So just some mixing critiques there. Punk rock. This type of punk rock isn't usually the type of music I listen to anyway, but I have an understanding of it.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, they're not going for polished Green Day here.
Exactly. They're not, as far as like guitar riffs go, very just punk rock riffs. Nothing wrong with it. Solo ending, whatever kind of was going on there. I think it was just more intended for noise and whatever. So I think they get their point across
very well.
I think they're doing what they want to do. So kudos to them for that.
Yep.
Not a bad song at all. I'm interested to see if, these 1 minuters are just 1, 2, 3, 4, blah, 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 just in punk rock fashion. I could be wrong. I'm having an inclination that might be the case.
Yeah.
But keep doing you guys. Thanks for sending in the song. I mean, you guys are from Port Huron, Michigan, so representing the Michigan, and you guys keep doing your thing. So appreciate the send in. I didn't really hear. I heard a little bit of some different things in the bass as well.
Yeah,
vocals weren't really, vocals got their point across. So I think these guys are just doing what they do and what they want to do. So I commend that all the way.
Yeah, I'm sure their attitude is really that they don't care about anybody else's opinions, especially in the style of music. They're not looking for a whole lot of input or otherwise, other than just turn up at the show and vibe with them, get in the pit and fucking love it. So I would expect that their friends come out and support and do exactly that, shout out some lyrics that they know, and then otherwise just circle pit it up and buy a shirt or a cassette tape or whatever you're selling. See, they've got the digital album for $10 online. So Chemical Valley Mutants, pretty cool band name, cool artwork. Poisoned was the track. Poisoned is the album. So check it out if you want more of them. They are on several outlets. Namely, we're on Bandcamp here, but they're on Facebook too. Give them a follow, give them a like, give them a share, and go out to a show if they're in your area.
Cool. All right. Here we go.
So, Neocracy, is that what we're up to?
Yes.
And they gave us a few links. I'm going to just pull up YouTube at first and then Facebook.
And this band looks like they didn't give me a whole lot of information, but these guys are from somewhere else because it's not even.
I see German.
Yeah.
I see some German.
Yep.
They got a link tree. Man, that's wild.
All right, so I'm actually going to click on the old YouTube. It just says, hello, we are happy to present you our new video for the current single for the upcoming album. We are looking forward to your feedback and support in promoting the song. Feel free to link our page so that we can share your post again. Have fun with Torment.
Yep, I got Torment pulled up on Bandcamp.
Bruce Volker, Neocracy.
Yeah.
So here y'all go, unless it's a YouTube ad.
Every person I meet distrust will like to
Neocracy with Torment. Great vocals. Definitely in more of a hard rock category for us, I would say.
Yeah, not really extreme metal, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, but we're always going to just, play what we get, honestly.
For sure.
And I was a fan. It reminds me of a few things that I might listen to on my own, just here and there. I love female-fronted bands, or female vocalists, if you will. Just definitely something that I take the time to enjoy a lot for my personal satisfaction. But yeah, more of a hard rock thing going on. I did some digging. By all accounts, this band is from Germany, or at least they were on a radio show in Germany, which led me to make that assumption. Radio FREI was the radio show that they sat down with in Erfurt, Germany, to at least promote their album. And this is just a mere, well, actually, no, I'm on the wrong page now, but they sat down in January, it looks like, to talk about this album, Torment. So, pretty decent production there. I didn't notice a whole lot of bass standing out, but other than that, the rhythms were there. Nothing too extreme. I like that they did have the fry vocal in the back to kind of give it a little bit of depth to, and a little difference, to the vocal approach there. Jay, anything you want to add to it?
Well, I just did Google Translate because their band bio on Facebook, or their intro, I guess, where you could say, is in German.
Yeah.
So what this says is, we are Neocracy, a band whose music wants to combine as many tastes and facets as possible to give you more a detailed insight. We simply ask you to subscribe to this page so you don't miss anything. So,
yep.
Very German. Did you watch the video, or you just were listening to the song?
I just was listening.
Video is a little on the corn side, but that's all right. I mean, I get it. But the song itself, for a rock song, the vocals were really good. I love the little kind of fry vocal backing that the bass player was doing. That was the bass player. The production sounded pretty good on it.
Yeah.
Normally I wouldn't really fire something up like this because it's not. I mean, I don't only listen to extreme metal, obviously, but this was way better than I thought it was going to be when I started looking at the pictures and stuff. So that just goes to show, give the music a shot.
Yeah.
I could hear everything very well for the production. Like you said, the vocals really stood out. Good harmonies, sounded really good. Good songwriting here, because we are doing rock music. If this wasn't a songwriting situation in this rock music, I probably would be disappointing it if it was part after part. But that just goes to show the different kind of genres or whatever. But yeah, not extreme metal. But hey, you sent it to us, so we played it on the show, because with a name like that, I'm thinking it might be, I don't know, Slam. I don't know what.
Yeah,
the
even
fuck.
my first, my first thoughts when I'm looking at the band photo and the band logo and the font and everything is here we go with a 3-piece death metal. That's what I'm looking at here. Is this could be cool. Neocracy with a 3-piece death metal, and I'm expecting screams and fry vocals. But it was more of a rock fronted band. I would say, if anything, those guitars could have come up a little bit in the mix for me, or at least the vocals were louder than everything else. And in a rock style format, you're going to want the vocalist to be front and center. That's the obvious.
Yes.
Most alluring part of a rock band is you have to have a great vocalist, which they do. So I think a pretty cool song, and something different for our listeners to consider. Not everything always going to be extreme slam death metal over here, and that's all right. We are definitely looking for that style of music to come our way and promote it to our audience, but it's definitely organic, natural music with instruments in hand, and I'm always going to be a huge proponent of that sort of a thing too. People don't start out necessarily playing death metal first day like us. You don't always. So sometimes you find your way. You start out playing the hard rock music or what have you, and then you move on to other things. For me, I started out listening to Bon Jovi and Skid Row before I ever made it to Anthrax, right? So it's just a matter of progression, really. So it has its place, and I'm for it. And I think I dare say thank you for the send in, and very cool stuff. and I'm a fan outright. So thank you guys in Neocracy for the Torment send-in.
Yeah, on the side note, they do have some professional pictures looking, as far as I don't really know. I can't speak to any art because there is no art. So I just wanted to put that in there because we usually speak to art, but there's nothing that exists for art for that. So, all right, let's move on to the next song here. I believe this is song number 6 for this episode. This is a band called Falls for Elderly. It says, Falls for Elderly is a 5-piece progressive metalcore alt-rock band from London, Ontario, showcasing a very entertaining live set with all aspects of the band unleashing their energy into the crowd. Quote, Falls for the Elderly's future is definitely bright and exciting. They have talent and an ambitious attitude to match, making Falls for the Elderly not only a great band to catch live, but also a band to keep an eye on for the next few years. This band has a real possibility to represent the London scene and make us proud on a Canada-wide stage. That was wrote up by Defend Forest City. So I'm going to click on Falls for the Elderly Bandcamp here.
Okay.
And
it brings up, several different tracks?
Shit. So we're going to go to this AI Suicide. I'm going to click that because that was kind of the what it said in here.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, Falls for the Elderly new album titled AI Suicide, released January 26th, 2024.
Okay, so we've been.
Well, this is a 2-minute song, so we'll hopefully this ain't just an intro, but here we go.
She said, it's on my head. What's some she said? What's some she said? It's on my head. So don't do something something my eye something.
Was that the fall? Excuse me. Was that Failure to Thrive, the opening track?
This says, Failure to Thrive. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So I think that's what we're looking for.
Yeah.
That's what we're fucking looking for.
Yeah.
Pardon my language here. But
Yeah, it said alt rock. I'm like, what? At first, I thought we were going to get another rock band here. The way they when they sent that definition in.
Yeah, I mean, maybe
Progressive metalcore alt rock. That's almost more gent to me. But
yeah, I mean,
I get it.
Maybe
Whatever.
later on in the album they take a breath and they go the Deftones route there. Who knows? We're just going off that first song and that's a slapper. That's a 2 thumbs up, all 4 horns. Man, good track. Falls for the Elderly. AI Suicide is the name of the album. And looks like they got some swag for sale online. They got a sweater hoodie. They got probably some other T-shirts. You can support the band that way. If you dig that track and you want to wear something really obscure that nobody else has got right now, this band here is from London, Ontario. That's in Canada for you geographically challenged folk. Super sweet song, 5-piece progressive metalcore. Under their Bandcamp is the description. Man, more of that, please. Fucking hell yeah. Man, I loved that. I loved every bit of that. Song structure was, there. I think they had some callbacks, or at least they had some themes running through. Like,
yeah,
like it didn't get it. Like, it's only 2 minutes. Like, you don't have a whole lot of room to go with songwriting structure there. You're going to have 2, maybe 3 parts of a song, and you're going to bounce them around. I mean, you can get crazy in 2 minutes if you want.
Oh, yeah,
like you can do a riff soup in 2 minutes. That's not a problem. But I think they had a pretty good formula there. I loved it. I was like, man, let's just do one more by these guys, because that was so fucking good.
These guys have quite a few. They have 9 songs on the CD, and a lot of them, there's not one song that's, the longest song is 3 minutes and 49 seconds. Everything else is around the 3-minute mark. So probably more like that you're going to get on the album. But yeah, it was heavy. That's what we want to hear on this show.
Yep.
Thanks for the send-in. These guys also said they would love to chat with us, so maybe we'll get these guys on and talk to them.
Yep.
They're a fairly new band. I'm looking at the releases. They got one in March 2022, another like live, it looks like something on June 2022, an EP in January 2023, and then the album in 2023 as well in July. So fairly new band.
Yeah.
Pretty damn cool band.
Yeah.
Hopefully they stay around doing stuff, and maybe we'll get to chat with them as long as they stay relevant and stay working. So
looks like they also had some stuff in 2022, Elevator to the Brain, Alive Off the Floor, Pressure on You, March 2022. Yeah, if when we get around to posting this and start throwing the tags and the notifications and alerting them that we reviewed their song or what have you, then hopefully we'll be in further contact and just do like a Zoom chat with them, because that was pretty dope. I'm pretty geeked on that. That's a good way to send us out into the day.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's a good wrap-up song. We can wrap up right there. We do have 1 or 2 in the bank for the next episode, but like I said, calling all hopefully more extreme metal bands, but we'll take what you got, because like the Lucious Fox, that has a place on our show. We like stuff like that too. That's a little out there. You got to think about that kind of music. So that definitely has a place as well. But I
mean, sometimes bands like a Lucious Fox, they're really talented musicians, and they probably have a deeper affinity for, extreme metal than maybe presented in one song. You know, so like we're going to listen to the one song and give it some airtime, but there might be some harder, heavier elements to that album later as you go. But running down the list today, we had Graverape, we had Gallows Grove, Lucious Fox, Chemical Valley Mutants, Neocracy, and Falls for the Elderly. So thank you all for your send-in. Great tracks. Loving the extreme metal that we get. Accepting all. I mean, I don't think Jay and I are going to like shut a song off. I mean, unless it's just polka or something. Like, I mean, if it doesn't make sense, I don't think we've gotten to the point of having to say, no, thanks. Like that.
Right.
We haven't got to that point yet. Some things definitely outside of maybe like some of the certain parameters that we might call extreme metal or metal, period. But nonetheless, we're not really gatekeepers. Metalheads aren't only listening to metal, so we're not going to only listen to metal on the show, be it kind of the point, like at least for the show's niche market, we're trying to put metal out there. But I respect and appreciate everything. That definitely takes a pair and some confidence to send in a song and say, yep, let the world hear it.
Yep.
Like we put our stamp on the world, and here's our art. So big ups to everybody that had the nerve to even send in a song for us to listen to. And, take our critiques with a grain of salt. We're just 2 people in Michigan here listening to your music and offering 2 cents, like it's take it or leave it. But really cool that we got these submissions in today, and definitely calling all bands to send in some more. Looks like the bank is running a little dry, and we're going to want some more to react to in the future here sooner than later. Even if we've already reviewed your guys' stuff, circle back to us and send us another one, specifically a title that you want us to play if you're really adamant about something, and if you can, give us some bio info, something to
Yes.
speak to as we lead into the track, maybe what the track's about or how you got into music in the first place, any of that stuff. Or if you want to take it a step further, slide into those DMs one way or another and set up a way for us to sit down and chat with you. We'll do a whole episode with you if that's what you want to do, if you got the time.
Yep. Sure thing. And like I said before on this, until we get a producer, someone to produce us, and they can maybe vet some of the songs that we get, if we get to the point where they need to do that. But I don't listen to any of this stuff beforehand. I only know from the conversations that in the DMs that are sent to me. So I'm just pulling up your music. It could be anything. It could be polka. It could be extreme death metal. It could be slam with frog vocals. I don't know.
Yeah. The moment we get trolled on this show to play something that is just not what we're looking for, then you might see a different side of us.
Yeah,
or at least me.
We'll just either crap on it really hard or we'll just turn it off. It's no big deal. Or we might do both just for fun. So.
But I don't want to encourage that behavior out there. That's not the fan base we're trying to cultivate.
And you would just have to. I mean, we have a specific audience, so they want their music to be heard. Most of them. So well, anything else you need to say today, my man?
I maybe had a thought and lost it, but just keep sending them in, and we will react to them with love and kindness and speak to it in positive ways. Get some more send-ins, please, folks, and share and like and react and do all those things that we ask you to do at the end of the day.
Yeah, it would mean a lot if you guys shared our podcast. It would really mean a lot to us. We're building slow, we're building fast, we're kind of just building, so it's kind of nice. There's a lot of people listening to the show, a lot of people enjoy the show. I'm getting a lot of good feedback on it, so I'm glad you guys are enjoying it, and we keep just wanting to do it because we love to do it, and if we can keep going and keep building something cool here for the face of Michigan and beyond, we're just going to keep doing that. So with all that being said, please share. We really would appreciate that, or tell somebody about the podcast. The word of mouth goes a long way. Modd's getting cool.
I'm ready. I'm ready for the day.
Yeah, it's sunny out. So with that being said,
the future is bright.
Metal, peace. Thank you so much for checking out the episode. Be sure to hit that like button and give us a share.
Yeah, and if you enjoyed our podcast today, please give it a rating on your streaming service to help us gain some exposure.
And if you really enjoyed the show, please give us a follow or hit that subscribe button and come hang out with us every week. And remember, keep it metal.